Hey, Cindy.
Hi there.
It's good to see you in Florida like that. So this is the Face the Music show for your campaign. This is our 10th show, and I'm really excited to be helping your campaign for the Florida State House.
Thank you so much, Pete. It is so exciting. It's hot out, but we're taking advantage of this South Florida weather. Thank you so much for your help, and for anyone outside of our district to pay attention to these kinds of house races means so very much. Thank you for all the work that you've done to get our message across state lines and state boundaries. And so I'm really looking forward to this evening, to some great music and some great conversation.
And all the artists grew up in Florida. That's where we all have deep roots there, and friends and family, and we want Florida to be more sane.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm so excited they're going to be able to hear you and Tina and Alejandro. This is just going to be a really, really cool event. All of this craziness has forced us to obviously be very creative. And so I'm so glad that you have extended your talents and your services and all of that to our House District 103 down here in Florida.
Well, yeah, things are absolutely crazy. Florida is being hit by the pandemic, and the world is just not a friendly place. So taking a moment to kind of reflect on things, but also to have some music and a little bit of escapism is okay, but also making sure that we acknowledge the moment that we're in, right?
Absolutely. And, you bring up such a great point. The last few weeks, last few months they've been heavy. In addition to having to, worry about our health and our economy, there is obviously signs of injustice that many of us know it all the time. It just has taken over the headlines right now. And obviously the loss and the murder of George Floyd, and how it has mobilized our communities to force a lot of other areas to have these very difficult conversations. And I know that they're difficult not just because of the topic, but I know that it just, people's sort of real opinions and real limitations and sometimes even our own blind spots have definitely been brought to the forefront in the last few weeks. And my hope is that as heavy as it's been, it will serve to be a moment that can catapult us forward and help us create some sort of progress because it truly feels that we are just always behind when it comes to social justices and social injustices that we're seeing and experiencing. And so I would like to obviously take a moment, not just to acknowledge and pay respects to George Floyd and his family, but also to all of the activists that have taken this man's life and loss of life and truly wanted to put words into action. And so hopefully we can honor them, today, tomorrow, and moving forward.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you all. I hope that we, those moments of silence I know are just absolutely needed sometimes, but hopefully we've had enough silence, especially for some of these difficult conversations.
Yeah. Well, I feel that music has an opportunity. It's an opportunity for people to get caught up in a moment. And when you get, inspired by that moment and you know exactly what the next thing is to do, the next thing is to make things a little better and policy and legislation that happens in the state houses in Florida and across this country.
Yes.
That is a big play. It's, my little spiel is 22 times more laws get passed in state legislatures than in
Absolutely. We're not the ones that are always talked about. There's up ballot sort of races that take up a lot of air. But we are the ones that deal with a lot of the day-to-day issues.
that is for sure.
And so.
Well, let's do some music then. So we're lucky enough to have our first artist, who's a native-born Florida artist, Alejandro Elizondo, and I'm kind of infatuated with Alejandro now. He's a multifaceted instrumentalist, but sings okay, So
Alejandro, I ain't no Cindy Polo, but
yes, plug for future career moves.
Mm-hmm. There could be a sing-along, Cindy. You could just be careful. All right. Well, Alejandro, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me. I am, South Florida boy, born in Hialeah. And I grew up with parents that are Nicaraguan, Cuban. And I chose this first song because I have been involved with live streams throughout this last couple of months to try and raise awareness and funds for different causes. And I stumbled across a song that my aunt wrote. She's a Nicaraguan folk singer in a group called Duo Guarda Barranco. And they have a song called Casa Abierta, and it means open house. And like an open house and open arms, open heart. This is a song that invites, it invites everybody to feel at home with each other. And I played the song for a fundraiser for housing unstable people here in Miami because of the top title, Casa Abierta, but it ended up being a song I feel like resonates with all sorts of things in this time. It is only through leadership that unifies us that we can actually make the changes that so many of us are looking for. So I am happy to sing this song in memory of my family and of all of us that are coming together. The Democratic Party is one big tent that we're trying to rally around in some of the most important electoral contests that I have seen in my lifetime. So the party, like the song, is a casa abierta for all of you guys. Hopefully y'all feel the love. Quiero estar bien con mis hermanos, de norte a sur, al fin del mundo. Saber oír y dar mis manos, sudar jugando algo bien sano. Dentro tenemos sentimientos que más me da el color, la raza. Si adentro hay buenos sentimientos, no se pueden quedar adentro. Aquí está en mi casa abierta, hay un plato por ti en nuestra mesa, sombra de árbol para tu cabeza, libro abierto, tu vida en mi puerta. Casa abierta, la amistad no cuestiona tu credo, y a la tierra le gusta que amemos, sin disturbios de culto y bandera. Casa abierta. Quisiera darte buena suerte y ser tu amigo hasta la muerte. Que la distancia no me entuma y la amistad no se consuma. Todos aquí somos humanos. ¿Qué más me da el color, la raza? Dentro si hay buenos sentimientos, no se pueden quedar adentro. Aquí está en mi casa abierta, hay un plato por ti en nuestra mesa, sombra de árbol para tu cabeza, libro abierto, tu vida en mi puerta. Casa abierta, la amistad no cuestiona tu credo, y a la tierra le gusta que amemos, sin distingos de culto y bandera. Casa abierta. Oh, casa abierta, casa abierta, ven, 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 mi casa abierta. Thank you very much. We'll get right into the next song here. It's an original song entitled "Better." And I wrote it as an exercise in trying to keep things simple. And in its simplicity, it has shown me a couple of levels of magnitude of relevancy in my life, from the personal to the societal. It's a song about staying together, being there for the people that are always there for you, to help you pick yourself back up and be a better version of yourself every step of the way. I'm going to do a little beatboxing on this one. we're live on this streaming here, and sometimes you get a little too excited and play a song too fast. Let's try it again. I will always be right here. I will always be around to pick the pieces off of the ground, put them back together, making it better than we found. Thank God you're always on my side, even when I let you down. You pick the pieces off the ground, put them back together, making it better than we found. Pick the pieces off of the ground, put them back together, making it better than we found. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you very much.
That was awesome, Alejandro. I think I was on mute when I said that. That was beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah. So we're going to go into a very short testimonial from a supporter of Cindy.
My girl Cindy, since we were amazing college, she was just a player with my friend Carl. She's passionate about soccer, passionate about soccer, and she's passionate to be able to voice and for something up people who might not have house that she does. She's always writing, and could not be proud of being the state representative for a city that's honored so much, and all the accomplishments really achieved in a short amount of time. I'm so thankful for my job, amazing, and I'm even more grateful that you are the love of my time. She has someone to. I can't wait to see what it's turning to, and you just need courageous, you have a heart, strength, and courage, not one here. God has blessed you, continue to use it, let it guide you, and have your back, I love you so much.
Okay. Well, my name is Pete Kronowitt. Unfortunately, that sounded kind of like a robot, but trust me, the things that were said were very heartfelt. I'm really excited to be here to be playing for the show, and I'd like to start off with a song that was born in the temperatures of Florida and the Florida sun. So it's beating down, yeah, it's real hot. My mind is roving, but my body's not. Think I wanna stay inside today, sit and dream my life away. Well, you know what I say. I holiday. It's just another passive day. Whoa, 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 whoa. Monday morning, got the alarm ringing. I think I just wanna keep sleeping. My baby turns and she starts to play. Well, I think I'm gonna blow up work today. Well, you know what she say? She says it's sort of a holiday. It's turned into a passion day. Whoa, 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 whoa. Spontaneous laziness, whirling about a contemptuousness. Everyone needs to seek their own bliss. Whoa, 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 whoa. Friends go out and they do the town. You decide you wanna hang around. What I'm trying to say is it's alright if you wanna stay inside tonight. 'Cause you know what I say, I declare this a holiday. It's just another passive day. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So when I was about 9 years old, my parents invited these 5 couples to come over our small apartment, and we were living in North Miami at the time. And my that led to a decade of intense times around my parents founding an organization. My dad left his comfy job with my uncle and became executive director, and my mom became the first president of the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And that decade, you know, it was this incredible time of like political intrigue and just all the time on the phone. And it was the first time that I experienced what organizing can do. And when I look back at that, what I'm left with is, you know, with patience, with persistence, with a whole lot of passion, a small group of people can have a lasting impact. You can make this world a better place, and do it with style and grace. Just choose your words precisely with care. Sprinkle some love and be aware. Ladybugs fill the room that day, and I knew she'd fly away. Simply look around, think about what you see, then you can judge with that certainty. A half cup of doubt, but know that you can blend in some hope, then mix by hand. Ladybugs fill the room that day. she'd fly away. We used to laugh almost every day. Maybe that's enough to remember her that way. That's what my mom taught me in life. You can't change the world one thing at a time. So this song was inspired by sitting in a park near my house, and I looked around. And I saw all these little animals, and I realized how vulnerable they are, and really, it's just how vulnerable we all are. So I owe a debt to a couple other songwriters, Mimi Hearn and Chris Harbaugh, for helping me write this. Sitting in my garden chair, there's a roly-poly over there, touching many rows into a ball. There's no plan B for the roly-poly. Got a feeling we're headed for a fall. Rising tides will sink our shores, bumblebees will buzz no more, butterflies won't have a place to rest. Sink or swim, will we still care? Will the roly-poly still be there if we say we've done our very best? The garden grows all our food, the roly-poly lives there too. Like me and you, he wants grandkids too. Do I choose to sit and wait? Where the choices that we make, is there something more that we can do? Can I make a difference to what happens next? Yeah, there's some things I could do. Rising tides will sink our shores, bumblebees will buzz no more, butterflies won't have a place to rest. Sink or swim, will we still care? Will the roly-poly still be there if we say we've done our very best? Can we handle what will happen next? So I'm going to play one more song. And before I play that song, I just want to say, I've been focused on the state legislatures. As I said earlier, they're kind of important. And, I didn't have any idea what a state legislature even did before 2017. But I realized, they passed the laws that have such an impact on us. And, the people who run for these offices, like Cindy, what they won't tell you is it's not an easy thing to go run for an office. You give up time with your family and friends. You give up nights and weekends. They're not going to say that to you because they're going to run on issues. They're going to run on the things they believe in. Those things are actually important. They have an impact on our lives. And, oftentimes, when someone runs for office, they give up a career. So, especially in places like Florida, they don't make a lot of money by running for state office. Matter of fact, it's pretty much a pittance, and it's specifically designed that way to make sure that, people who don't have means can't be represented. I mean, it's a bad thing. So Cindy and the whole team of people that really spend their time and they're really like they give up a portion of their life. I know my wife is actually in Arizona doing this now. Yeah, since November. I miss her. and it's not easy. And so what I would say is, hey, all we're asking is that maybe you can spend a little bit of your time, make some phone calls for Cindy. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. You can make phone calls for Cindy, or, if you're in this tough economic moment, if you have the means, as it says right there, please donate to Cindy. You can donate a couple bucks, donate $5, $20, whatever you can. These state legislative campaigns they're not that expensive, but it's really important that they have a base level amount of money so they can get stuff done. So anyway, with that, I'm kind of subtle about my message in my song. So I'm gonna tell you all, it's time to kick your ass in gear. It's time to tear down fear. Do something now. The moment has arrived. We can tell we're alive and do more than survive. Do something now. It's time we do something. Do something. Do something now. Do something. Do something. Do something now. Don't just bitch and moan. Time to get on the phone. To be sure, just knock on doors. It's forward. Oh, it's time we do something, do something, do something now. Do something, do something, do something now. Polar bears can't swim forever, guns killed 7 kids today. 10 more lives, yeah, he's a Russian spy. Women's rights are being stripped away. With the exception of that last Supreme Court decision, which actually turned out pretty good, it's time we do something, do something, do something now. 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 I'm gonna tell you all, it's time to kick your ass in gear. All right. So now we got Christopher Richmond from the Miami-Dade Democratic Party. Chris is the digital director of development, the digital and development director. I knew I would get it right with 3 tries. Digital and development director. And Chris has got something to say about voting from home.
Thanks, Pete. I just want to say this has been a really fun show, and I'm here with a short but important message. I want everyone to go to our website, votefromhome.miami. I want to urge you to sign up to get your ballot mailed to you before the August and November elections. This is really important. You don't have to choose between protecting your health and exercising your right to vote. You can do both. And voting from home gives you options. You can drop it in the mail after you've signed it. Or if you don't want to give it to the Postal Service, you can take it yourself to an early voting site, or you can still vote in person if you feel safe doing that. So it gives you options. And the best part is it's free. There's no postage required. And that's something that I think a lot of people need to hear. So go to votefromhome.miami, sign up, get your ballot mailed to you, and then, most importantly, vote for Cindy and for all of the great Democratic candidates we have this year. Back to you, Pete.
Well, thank you, Christopher. So now we have Cindy Polo is going to say a few words about her campaign. And I'm really excited to have Cindy here. Cindy is currently the representative from Miami-Dade in the House of Representatives of Florida. Cindy, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Pete. I've actually been super emotional listening to these songs and to a lot of the message that you just mentioned. And so I'll take a few minutes just so that those that don't know me can get to know me a little bit better. My name is Cindy Polo. I am the proud representative of House District 103, which actually serves 2 counties. I start in Broward in Southwest Miramar, all the way down into Miami-Dade, into the Doral area. So it's quite a diverse district, and one that I am proud to not just represent, but one that I have lived in my entire life. I was born up in the Northeast, but I was in Hialeah from the age of 2, and have basically stayed within about a 1 or 2 mile radius my entire life. And now I have chosen to do the most important thing in my life, which is to raise my son in that same area. I have an amazing son who is 4 years old. His name is CJ. He's got his own fan club, and so there's probably comments about that, and you might hear him in the next few minutes. And I'm going to sort of start there because Pete mentioned, that many of us get into this for sure not for the money, but because there is a calling and it takes a lot of sacrifice. As a mother of a young son, sacrifice is part of our daily routine, if not for the village that I am surrounded by, which includes CJ's father, my parents, my friends, and my team and my community. I would not be able to do this job. Right now, they're keeping him entertained so that I can do this. And so it does take a village, but it's part of that village. The reason why I feel obligated to not just run for office and not just sort of put myself out there, but to fight every single day for a community that, in my opinion, has been long ignored and taken advantage of when it comes to rhetoric or when it comes to failed policies. And so what has happened with the state legislature is, as Pete said, not a lot of people know about it until you really either are affected by it or something really bad happens. We're in a presidential year, election year, and so that's going to take up a lot of oxygen. And as important as that is, it is the local elections that affect your day to day. And I've always been on the receiving end of those policies. My family, whether it was my education, whether it was their immigration status, whether it was my rights as a woman, I've always been on the receiving end, but I was not necessarily involved in politics as much as I needed to be. I joke with constituents that I considered myself a Facebook senator, which means, I shared my opinion very loudly on social media for a few years. But after the presidential election, by then I was a mom, and I realized that the bare minimum just wasn't enough anymore. And myself and a few ended up becoming friends and family in our area, had grown up in the area and had just felt that our party candidates, they weren't necessarily coming and talking to us. And we decided we were going to do something about that. And so we created this little band of misfits, which was going to have a ground game and basically a plan as to how we could flip seat 103. What we didn't have was a candidate. We couldn't find somebody just insane enough to want to do this and put their name on the ballot. And for about a year, we worked hard. We worked hard to create a network within our community and within our neighborhoods, but we still didn't have a candidate. And then February 14th of 2018 occurred. And as many of you know, that was the day of the Parkland tragedy. See, that day started out just like any other Valentine's Day. And for many of us, it's changed our lives forever. And for me specifically, I just kept replaying sort of this narrative in my head that one day my son was going to hear about these horrible things that had happened when he was a child. And he would turn and ask me, well, Mom, what did you do? And sharing my opinion on Facebook just didn't seem enough. And it certainly didn't seem like the outcome that my parents had instilled in me. And so I decided to get on a bus and go to Tallahassee and protest and actually to support the students that were going. The idea was that they would lead this effort. And we got there, and just like I expected, they played games with the students and they weren't being allowed to speak. And so kind of fast forward to this crazy day of emotions, and I had 2 minutes to speak, and I did just that. I spoke my mind. I spoke of how upset and desperate I felt for change, and to be able to tell my son I had done everything I could. And lo and behold, on the way back, a few of those high school students asked me if I had ever thought of running for office. And I said, no, my son's too little. He was 2 at the time. And excuse me, I'm emotional and sweating. But I said, I just couldn't. My son was too little, and I didn't come from a political background. I sure as heck did not have any money. And so it didn't seem like it was for me. And then that band of misfits that I mentioned earlier also kind of came up and said, hey, so that crazy person we've been waiting for? That's you. And the only way that we can really create change is if we sort of send the very best of what this community has to offer to join the fight. We did not get into it to lose, that's for sure. But winning wasn't necessarily the biggest priority. And what I mean by that is so by the time we're having these discussions, it's March of 2018, just a few months before an election. And in a flippable seat, an opponent who had been handpicked by the Speaker of the House was running and was essentially going to be handed the seat over because we weren't even competing. And that I knew I could not live with myself if I did that. And so we filed, and it has not stopped since. We were outraised 6-1. My opponent had $500,000. We raised about 70. A lot of that came in sort of very much at the end with the help of a lot of worthy organizations. But what we knew is that they were always going to outspend us, but they couldn't outwork us because we grew up there. We knew the ins and outs of those communities. We knew the parts that the media wasn't talking about. We knew the pockets of, as we called them, closet Democrats who just did not want to put a lawn sign out in front of their house. But it didn't mean that the demographics had not been changing decade after decade. But we knew that because we're from there. And so we just thought, let's just fight. We'll chip away. And so if we don't flip it now, we'll flip it in 2020, but we'll chip away and we'll put the work in. And be careful what you wish for, because not only did we do the impossible, but we flipped a seat, and we did so by 7 points. And I say we, it's because my name's on the ballot, my name's on the shirts, my name's on that logo that you see there. But this is a ton of people that have grown up. Like Alejandro said, immediately he introduced himself and he said that he was proud of being from Hialeah, and that it chokes me up still, because I've lived there my entire life. I bleed that city, and sometimes that city and that community has broken my heart. But I know that we have to keep showing up, and we have to keep saying that we're proud of where we're from, even if we're not the ones that are connected and we're not the ones, that are appointed to positions. But I'm a 2-time college graduate. I'm very proud of where I'm from. My parents were illegal for most of my childhood. I am proud of all of those parts of my story because they are the story of so many of us. I tell all my friends that I am not a unicorn, and they'll say, well, yeah, you are. And I say, no, I'm not. See, our community is surrounded by amazing success stories. But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're told that you don't belong, eventually you start believing it. And I just don't want that life for my son. I want him to grow up in a world where a woman with all this hair and the big hoops and the bright lipstick can walk into the chamber and pick up a mic every single time and know that she is going to every time speak on behalf of those that will never step inside of that chamber. It is a job that I have sacrificed a lot for, and it is a difficult one, but it is one that is absolutely necessary because flipping 103 was just the beginning. There are so many seats around us that can be flipped if we just show up if we just fight back. And everyone that's involved in this, and from coast to coast, paying attention to the Florida House is so important, because yes, Pete mentioned at the very beginning, the Supreme Court fortunately made the right decision by the recent decision on women's reproductive rights. But I've had 2 sessions, and each one of those sessions, there are 2 topics that continue to come up: a woman's choice and immigration rights. And those are things that are being decided at the state level, and it matters. Those down ballot seats matter so very much, and we just have to keep showing up, and we have to keep fighting, and we can't just hand things over, because it's not just our lives, but it's our children's lives, and it's our neighbors and our family members. And my hope is, every time that I step in front of a camera, or I pick up a mic in the chamber, or I step into that Capitol, I hope that there are folks that grew up like me and see themselves in me, and know that no check from a lobbyist or no check from special interest will ever cause me to sell them out. And there's many more of us. I think we just need to hear that we can do it, and that we're not alone. And so I'd like to take this opportunity and thank everyone that has made tonight possible, that has made the last 2 years possible. Many of them are watching right now, and they're part of a team that I think maybe now they're getting paid, but for 2 years didn't, and just volunteered their time because they love me and they believed in this movement. And I'd like, I could be here forever if I thank them each individually, but I'd just like to thank every single one of you, especially the musicians today that are from Florida, may not currently be living here, but haven't forgotten us. And we need it. Florida's going through some hard times right now, but we have to keep showing up, and we have to keep fighting back. And I hope to make every single one of you proud. Know that whatever dollar amount you donate to our campaign, it is used responsibly, and it is used to spread our message far and wide. Please vote. Please get involved. Please do more than the bare minimum. These times require more of us. And I can say proudly that I am giving you guys everything I got, and I won't stop. So thank you very much.
Oh, Representative Polo, you are the best kind of crazy. You are crazy enough to believe that we can change things. And then you went out with a group of people and did it. And we are not done. We are not done. So I am really happy to support your campaign. But you got to stop making me cry.
It really is that I should stop crying. I've cried on the floor. I get mocked about it all the time. And I tell everyone, they say, oh, well, you're just so passionate. And sometimes I think that they don't necessarily mean that as a compliment. But, I've learned this one really important thing these last 2 years when I've heard, other of my colleagues say, oh, Polo, you take things too personal. And I realize, if your elected official is not taking things personal, then you need to find yourself a new elected official, because it means that they're not living the consequences of those policies that we vote on. And so I've embraced my emotional side, and that I cry when it means something, and I yell when I'm really upset about it. But because these times need it.
I am so emphatically supportive of what you talked about. And I made this connection a long time ago. Policy, legislation, they have an impact of whether people live or die. It's a lot of other, some, not all legislation, but it really has it's a factor. And so anyway, thank you for what you do. Please donate to Cindy's campaign. If you donate, I have an album I just recorded. I have a couple of the tracks that I just played are from that new album. Whatever you donate, just donate something, and I'll send you some tracks. I'll send you some tracks from new album. I'll, throw in a couple old tracks too. I believe that I get updates. So, and I haven't done that before. Damn you, Cindy. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to bring Tina up so she can play a few tunes, and then we'll come back out. So anyway, Tina Mathieu is a dear, dear friend. Tina, not only is Tina one of my favorite singer-songwriters, and that says a lot, but Tina's an activist. Like, Tina, are you going to be able to play?
I don't know. I was just legit crying. So I'm trying to pull it together right now. So keep talking.
Yeah. Okay. Tina is truly an activist. And, you know, when you combine a singer-songwriter with an activist, what you get are really heartfelt, beautiful songs. Tina has those. Tina has them about the human condition, but also about the stuff that's going on right now. And so, Tina, would you do us the honor of playing a few tunes?
Of course.
Okay, great.
Wouldn't that be weird if I was like, nah, I'm going to pass? Well, thank you so much for having me, Pete, and Face the Music. Cindy, wow. I mean, I'm a mom as well, and that really resonated with me. And you know what? Something I've been learning is that vulnerability is a superpower, and so use it. So similarly to Cindy, I was kind of getting involved in the political process, or at least trying to understand it for the 2016 election. And so I was slightly involved, volunteering and stuff like that. I live in LA now, but I was born and raised in South Florida. And similarly to Cindy, when the Parkland shooting happened, it was a major turning point for many people. And I remember feeling an overwhelming sense of helplessness and not knowing like what I could do. I'm gonna get through this song. Not knowing what I can do or how can I contribute, or, you know, what can I do? And I saw the students sort of form March for Our Lives. And I remember Emma was doing her speech, and I just dropped everything and picked up my guitar, which is usually what I do when I'm overwhelmed with emotion. And this song came out, and I was really moved by the March for Our Lives. I was really moved by so many people coming together for a common goal. And I wrote this song called One Step Closer. And the proceeds, you can get it on my website, and the proceeds go to the March for Our Lives Fund. And I'm really happy to play it today in support of Cindy. So this one's called One Step Closer. 1, 2, check. Is this thing on? Ring our voices out. We've got a problem. We've got a problem. 1, 2, step. We fall in line. Let the sirens sound. We've got a problem. Oh, we've got a problem. 'Cause this ain't working, no, this ain't working. The system's broken down. It's time to get loud. We are tired of the lies. We are ready for a fight. We are one step closer. In the steps of our lives, we are marching for our lives. We are one step closer. Closer, closer. When disregard and disrespect leads through every town, we've got a problem. Oh, we've got a problem. 'Cause this ain't working, no, this ain't working. The system's broken down. It's time to get loud. tired of the lies. We are ready for a fight. We are one step closer. In the height of sacrifice, we are marching for our lives. We are one step closer. Our children are dying. There's no other time to fight for our rights, 'cause it's right now. So let the children cry out, 'cause there's no other time to fight for our rights, 'cause it's right now. We are tired of the lies. We are ready for a fight. We are one step closer. In the height of sacrifice, we are marching for our lives. We are one step closer. Oh, well, that song always makes me emotional. So I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty cynical. And my anxiety brain often allows me to think of the worst case scenario all the time. It's interesting. So in one of my more cynical moments, and I believe I wrote this song in 2018, and it's called America the Beautiful, but it's not the one you know. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it and kind of let it resonate with you. I might change up the ending. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're just gonna wing it. We're gonna go with it. The song's called America the Beautiful. If you're on the West Coast, then you're burning down. On the East Coast, then you'll probably drown. And if you're landlocked, you probably live in a racist town. We've got purple mountains, majesties. We call gun violence a disease. We all sleepwalk in a white man's version of liberty. Is this the apocalypse of America, America the Beautiful? Is this the apocalypse of America, America the Beautiful? On the south border, they're stealing kids. On every street corner, the homeless live. We play red button Russian roulette with the president. And we take the streets like every week. It seems that nothing's ever gonna be easy. They're up in arms over whoever can do whatever on their knees. Is this the apocalypse of America, America the Beautiful? Is this the apocalypse of America, America the Beautiful? But as the teenagers rise and the weed's legalized and our women unite and our men take a hint from Queer Eye, then maybe there's a chance that we'll survive. And wear your mask. Ooh. America, America the Beautiful. Ooh, la 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 la. America, America the Beautiful. Is this the apocalypse of America, America the Beautiful? Ooh, I say la 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 la. America, America the Beautiful. We need a revolution. Say his name, say her name. We need a revolution. Don't let their dying be in vain. We need a Don't wanna go back to being the same, the same. We need a revolution, and it's up to us to make the change. Whew. Who wants to hear some happier songs? I'd love for you to take this time to, if you have the means, donate to Cindy Polo's campaign. If you don't have the means to donate, that's okay, because you can donate your time. If you'd like to make phone calls, or I'd say knock on doors, but I don't know if that's something that they are doing safely. I don't know if that's what's happening, so maybe not. But phone calls work, especially to let people know about how the ways to vote. We know voter suppression is alive and well all over the country. So knowing all of the ways that you can vote is very important. And so get in contact with her campaign. You can chat to her. She's here live. You can chat to her in the comments and find out how you can help her get reelected and keep that seat blue. Because we know there's a Republican out there that's just eyeing that seat and wants that seat, and we're not going to let them have it. So on that note, I think I'm just going to sing one more song. And this one is a lot more positive and with a brighter outlook. And because Florida, my hometown, is the Sunshine State, I'm going to sing the song that I wrote with a buddy of mine, Max Allen. We wrote the song called Share the Sunshine, and wrote it while we were in quarantine and virtually. And I was recording some vocals here in my place, and I have a 7-year-old son, and I was like, this song feels like it needs some kid energy. And so I got him, and he's singing on it. And so it's a really hopeful and positive song, and I hope you guys like it. And thank you so much for having me. And this song is called Share the Sunshine. Looking for signs along the road. Oh, I'm gonna find my way. Yeah, I'm gonna find my way. Following rainbows to a pot of gold. Oh, I'm gonna find my way. Yeah, I'm gonna find my way. Yeah, bet I'll get there faster if we get there together. 'Cause we're better when we lean on each other. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Singing a love song to one another. The clouds will part and we'll share the sunshine. Picking up pennies and I pass them on. 'Cause it's our lucky day. Yeah, it's our lucky day. Silver linings through the twists and turns. But we're gonna be okay. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. But we'll get there faster if we get there together. 'Cause we're better when we lean on each other. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Singing a love song to one another. The clouds will part and we'll share the sunshine. The clouds will part and we'll share the sunshine. Ooh, the clouds will part and we'll share the sunshine. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Tina, wow. You know, I've seen you play One Step Closer before, but I have never seen that emotion like that. That was beautiful. And
yeah, I think the only other time, like I've sang it for a couple of different, like some die-ins and some rallies and NRA protests. But that kind of that testimonial from Cindy was just so real and so raw and just really tapped into, I think, what so many people feel, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
that's
that's
exactly
really
it. That's
amazing.
it's like, so like from the frustration of the seeing what the horrible things that we do, including what happened at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, including that, and then you go to the cynicism that you represented in your second song, right? To a hopeful, we can get there together. That is exactly the journey we're on. So
Thanks. I didn't even plan it that way.
well done, my friend. Well done. So I just thank you for playing. Let's bring everybody back up, and hey, Cindy and Christopher, and there are lots of people in the background. Alejandro, thank you very much for playing. There's so many people who are supporting Cindy's campaign, including the local Democratic Party, including artists. But there are people making phone calls, and we got donations during the show, and right at the end when Cindy was talking, people donated. So maybe this can work. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will win in November.
Yes.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you guys. And by the way, this is CJ. He's the reason why I ran for office. He's the reason why I do everything.
Woo,
Hey, man.
nice to see you, Super CJ.
Yeah, Super CJ. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Blessings and so much peace, love, and energy to every single one of you. Thank you so much for making my night and for making this an absolute reward. And he's out.
And he's out. And we're out. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Daddy?